Okay, I'm live, I think. You guys, I didn't even know it kicked me out. I'm just gonna wait a minute and see if anybody can join. I don't know why it kicked me out because you would think that I would have like what do you call it? Like a probationary period or something. Kind of weird. So I'm gonna mute for just a second and then stop my camera for a second and play music and see if anybody comes back. I was looking at the camera or at the comments. And I'm like, "Hey, what do you mean, are we back?" And then I'm like, "Okay," and then I start scrolling up and I see that Lionel was like, "They suck." So I don't know what happened, but letting me do another one, so I'll just kinda give it a second, see what's going on. Um, if you come back in, let me know. So just kinda wait a second, see what I don't know why I did that, it's so weird. But I'm here. I'm gonna just keep going as soon as I'll give it like maybe 5 minutes. Oh, hey, I see somebody's in here. Thank you. I was just gonna post a little banner. Thanks, Lionel. Well, yeah, I was like, oh my gosh, they're gonna kick me out for like a week again. Which the last time when I appealed it, I didn't have to wait a week, luckily. But yeah, it's weird. I don't know what it was, but I guess I guess I could go look in the analytics. I'm just gonna mute for like a couple minutes and see if I have any messages on there. Not like it matters, but I'll just give it a second and then anybody comes back and then I'll figure out what I'm gonna play next. So I'm trying to remember. I guess I kept talking as I'm clueless. I didn't realize it was even ended until the comments. So I probably went on for like 5 minutes. It's probably during that last video, I'm guessing, with the weirdo guy that was in the not what do they call it? Not the examination room, but like where they cross exam, asking the interrogation. Is that where it was left off? I know. Let me see what It's like, really, you think they'd want people to like share this information? Oh, thank you, Kendra. And thank you for your comment before you said it. I appreciate that. I was going to say thank you, and then I realized that I was talking to myself. So, okay, Lena, that makes sense. I'm in the dashboard right now. I'm trying to figure out if it tells me anything. I'm not seeing anything like. Notifications, no. I'm gonna mute because I had to click on. Well, actually, I don't think it'll play it when I click on it. It says restrictions none. Oh, thanks, Speak. So on they kept that stream up. It says restriction visibility public, restrictions none, quality uploading sound. Maybe they took it down and then they realized that whatever I had done was fine. Who knows what they do behind those scenes? I don't know. But either way, that's okay. Um, I think Speak, you watched that one about Austin, huh? That one, emo playing that one. Oh, I gotta turn this damn music off. My bad. Like, why do I feel like I'm like talking over something? Hello. Okay, there we go. I'm gonna put this back on too. I'm just sitting here. So I was trying to decide which one to do next. I'm gonna go back to my history here because I've clicked on a bunch. But I don't know. I mean, what do you think? Do you guys want me to like talk about individual case? If anybody want to call, and that's like middle of the night or in the early morning. So no pressure. But I'll post the invite or the link. I mean, just in case. So should I start talking about some case? Okay, I'm gonna do that. In fact, let me just be kind of like not very attentive to you guys for just 1 second. There's so many that I'm trying to see. Okay, I want to play this one next. I'm gonna click on it here so that way it's first up. Okay, 1 second. I'm gonna go back in here. Yeah, it's so weird. I wonder. Oh well, that wasn't that exciting anyway. Like the best part was like, that they caught him. I don't know if you guys heard that he died of like a lymphoma attack or something like suddenly before he could go to trial, which, you know, you don't really want them to get that mercy, but whatever, God's plan. So, okay. I'm just kidding. Mike from Boston probably not here now, but that's one thing that like they would say. Yeah, that's sad that somebody would like really um like simplify or minimize a human life down to like such an insignificant, worthless, like loss. And it's just really sad to me. That's a whole nother show. I might just stream on that because I've thought about that before. Um, like, anybody that has had kind of like a past, like whether it's like somebody that is a sex worker, somebody that is like a reformed drug addict that like has problems still, or a felon. Some of these people they're never taken like their lives are valuable like after that or something. It's like no matter what happens to them, like society find a way to just justify it. And I think that like for instance like sex workers or even like people that are doing drugs, I feel like if they are victimized, um they should be able to feel comfortable to go to the authorities and report the crime against them, which is oftentimes like sexual assault or attempted deletions, things like that. But they don't because they're afraid they'll get in trouble or whatever. So it's kind of a breeding ground for like people to like really take advantage of that. So yeah, maybe I'll add another thought, but a stream was new too. But anyway, I forgot. It's in my saves list. So I'm gonna keep playing it. I just kind of wanted to break it up a little bit for a minute and just mention that just that terminology of lot lizards or but yeah, I mean obviously if these women are at truck stops or going into these trucks with these men, like insane. Um, Nobody knows where they are anyway, so nobody knows they're missing, right? So yeah, obviously you guys understand that concept, like basic, but just to reiterate that. Okay.
Turns out reporting information.
Okay, I just wanted to stop it again. I felt like it had gone on forever, maybe on like Parrot, but again, he didn't give me a strike on that other one, so I mean, I guess it's even possible that I had like a button. Well, no, actually, because I had hit end stream after. But anyways, so back to the FBI thing. Yeah, I understand. I mean, obviously, it's necessary. It's a good initiative to at least start getting like some kind of a tracking going on that's like intersecting and like putting clues together and starting to kind of create patterns. But oftentimes, like I said, they don't know anybody's missing. So when these truckers are going through these areas that's like miles and miles of nothing or forest or whatever, um, without knowing that somebody's missing and where they last were, it's not a lot of reason for anybody to go into those areas and like look for a body, right? I mean, you have to know what you're looking for. And so it's usually some kind of a hunter or a tourist or, a hiker or something that's like, oh my God. Can you imagine like what a burden that would be? You're just going out for like a morning hike and then you see like a dead body and like you're scarred for life. It's kind of like unfair fate. And I'm going to read some of these comments real quick. Let me scroll up. Sorry, I try to get like, so close to the camera when I do this, but let me try this. I need to get a mouse. Okay, so let's see. Is it Angel? After flipping out. Yeah, I wish Angel's here. He's been here. He'll probably come back soon. He's trying to sleep. Okay. I saw this comment I wanted to highlight. This is very true. Make my screen bigger so I can. Okay, serial killers. I think it's an addiction becomes a game, and the victims are just numbers. And I completely agree with that because sometimes they do know. They remember the details of what they did because it turns them like on. It's just super creepy. But when they remember it, or they have their photos, or they go back oftentimes if they pass by the crime scene again and they'll like revisit the body and sometimes even defile the corpse. It's hard to imagine being like, it's one thing to even say it and we see it in the movies. So it's like not, a complete shock to hear that, even though it's still creepy. And then you imagine yourself actually doing that. Like you're driving in your truck and you killed somebody and then you stop the truck and get out and it's like eerily quiet and you're going and find like a rotting corpse that you are responsible for taking it off the earth. Like it's so far beyond comprehension that like I know that's probably what makes it so scary. I think you're right. I think that thrill is what that's what they're focusing on, and the human being is just a means to the thrill. And so their life story, their feelings, their heart, their love, their connections, their experiences is like completely, I mean, it's insignificant. Like they're not even like, crossing their mind. But yeah, they like love seeing these people suffer, and like some of them keep them in the truck for days, and it's just like, what do you? I don't know. They say a lot of things happen in like early childhood to keep these people. You know, obviously something's wrong, but a lot of things happen to other people in early childhood, and they don't turn into evil killers. So I personally believe that yes, some people may be more like physiological susceptible, say like they have their frontal lobe, damaged or something like that. So they're um very like in what's that word? Sorry, I keep like drawing a blank. I'm kind of a little bit tired if I admit, but um, it's okay. Bear with me. So when you like just do something right off the bat and you like don't think about it, it's such an obvious word and whatever. You can let me see here. I gotta get out of this like big screen here for a minute. Okay. Um, it's gonna bite me though. I keep wanting to into it. It's all right. Anyway, but just like I can understand that like adding to a propensity, but I don't believe that God gives people brain damage or childhood trauma experience to the point where they don't have control over those demonic thoughts and then which become actions. I believe that at some point they sign on the dotted line and they're on board. So because I don't think that would be just and fair, and yeah. Um, so let's see. I want to see this. Are you talking about getting in the cars? Let's see, or the trucks? Yeah. Let's see here. Like who gets in? Yeah, and I think that oftentimes it is like a sex worker that's called specifically to go there, or they're like in the truck stop area. So they probably have done that with truckers like so many times that they, in their mind, the chances of that anything going wrong, other than maybe him being an asshole or maybe trying to stiff or like something like that, would be a concern. But I think that it probably is like a common collective opinion that, yeah, that's a risk you take, but they don't know anybody that happened to or something. So maybe that's why. And I think a lot of time those people obviously in like a situation where they don't feel like they have a lot of options. They probably don't have a stable home. They may be addicted to drugs. They may have a parent that's like threatening them. So whatever they stand to lose or, the negative consequences outweigh getting into the vehicle. And something that's just naive, hitchhikers, you know, rarely though. I think there's enough awareness about that now. But some people really can come across as like a nice grandpa or, oh, and especially if that person's asking them for a ride and they just agree, they probably think, you know, thanks, like you're doing me a big favor. And if somebody approaches you like, hey, can I give you a ride? Then that's going to raise like, the hair in the back of your neck. And I'm like, why do you want to give me a ride? But if you ask them and they're just nice to say yes, they're going that way anyway. I guess, I mean, I could see that. I would like to think I would never do that in desperate situation. But then again, like say I was driving down a dark highway and I got a flat tire or my car starts smoking or something like, and I'm stranded on the side of the road and the first person that stops is like a jolly looking trucker guy that looks like, he's got a family and likes to watch football on Sunday and stuff like that. And he's like, okay, well, let me get you somewhere safe. Let's get you to the next town and make a call or arrange your ride. You can't just be staying out here because you never know. There's wild animals. There's crazy people, and you're like, true, yeah, I better get in it. He's right. Like, I'm safer. So I know it's probably not the common, but these aren't common. So, and that's what I was wondering in my description. Is this something to where, these people have thought about sadistic thoughts or maybe like had um, tortured animals and things like that as children, and then like they want to harm and or delete people, especially like vulnerable women that are much weaker and more defenseless than them. So they figure this is a good way to do it. And I kind of started leaning towards this the more I really kind of thought about it. Do these thoughts surface and start to kind of, you know, emerge due to a series of actions that kind of like dominoes, like I said, maybe, you're lonely and like you haven't had sex and then you get some porn and like whatever. And, you start out innocent enough, like a healthy outlet, like whatever. Or, they get offered, they start with the coffee and then they're like, well, now I got to stop all the time and use the bathroom. Like, I can't be doing that. And then they get one of those little packets at the gas station that's like, energy, and like they take those and they'll like get a little boost. And then they kind of, maybe get even like say an Adderall or something like from one of their fellow truck drivers, and then they realize it worked and then they can't get it, and then they meet somebody else and they're like look like a normal person. They don't have rotted teeth or anything, and they smoke on a little, um, whatever you call it, like a little joint of crystal. I don't know, this maybe a pipe or whatever they do. But either way, like when they do that and they're like, well, they look normal and like they have a, yeah, maybe it's not too bad. And they do it. And then that their thoughts start to turn, like I was saying about the DA in New Mexico that was telling about that. But and then it's like this whole slippery slope, and then the depravity, which I think the majority of humans have a stopping point. But if these people have kind of the combo where maybe they didn't set out to do that, but they've always kind of like hated women or loved violence, turned on by violence or people suffering or things like that, or they have like control issues and they like to like, have the power over people, things like that, that maybe become more and more exaggerated in isolation and, just like paranoid thoughts or like even like, just grandiose thoughts of fantasies or fetish, and then little by little they start acting out, and then they become like he said, like Kendor said, like addicted, and then they can't stop, or whatever. I don't know. I'd be interested to know what you guys think, like the chicken or the egg kind of thing. One second, I'm gonna put this back on for a minute, and then I'm gonna read some more comments.
John Robert Williams, implicated in as many as 14 cases, and now a fresh charge for the murder of Casey Joe Pipestem.
Williams.
All right. I'm going to keep playing it, but I was going to take breaks. But is it ended again? Why is YouTube doing this to me? Can you guys not hear me anymore? Oh. So frustrating. What in the hell? This is like news. I don't know what to do. This is bullshit. It's unavailable. Okay. That is right.